All right, I just want to post about what I've been thinking about recently in regards to our entire Congress, entire governmental system that we seem to be completely beholden to. I think it's time for a change. We got to figure this out. We got to really start changing the way we actuate towards our own government because it's not working. I think it's just become obvious it's a whole money laundering scheme. I think it's just a money laundering scheme to get big business more money. And really, at the end of the day, it's just siphoning dollars from the middle and working class Americans to everyone but them. And I think that's pretty obvious now. I think ever since 2008, I think that really hit a lot of people as to what the government is actually in for. And it's in for big business, it's in for banks, it's in for anyone that they can deem too big to fail, which at this point is any large corporation, multinational corporation. And they're not interested in what we as Americans care about. They're more interested in being able to get cheap labor. They're more interested in getting government handouts. I mean, look at Coke. I mean, you just look at Coke and they make a ton of money just from having contracts with the government for putting in their drinks in military bases, for having accessibility for EBT to be used for any type of Coke product. It's like, how is this not crazy? I mean, Palantir, the whole reason they exist is to literally siphon funds away from the government, saying that we'll make government systems more efficient. It's like, no, you're not. You're just going to take money, and that's literally going to be your entire premise and how to return value to stockholders. That's it. These people do not care. They're not for the betterment of the American people, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And to act as if we give the government, from a socialist perspective, more power, it's going to get better. It's like, that's even more insane. These guys have a total stranglehold over the government, and the government does not have any desire to become more efficient. It doesn't want to become better for its working class individuals. It's shown that it doesn't want to do that. And so I don't know how, when you argue against a system that you think is completely unfair and you ask that it does more for you, how you think that's going to work out. They don't care about you. These people are in positions of power for a reason, most of the time because they don't have any other feelings except for power, greed, and the desire to have complete and total autonomy to do what they want to do, regardless of what you want. Our vote does not count in the sense of, when you vote for somebody who's a politician, most of the time they don't even know who you are, they don't even care who you are, and they don't want to get to know you. And there's a select few I can acknowledge that reside within Congress. But for the most part, they still have a willingness to bend their values to be able to match what they want to get out of everything and not what their constituents want. And we got to start changing. We got to start holding these people's feet to the fire. We got to call in. We got to be really, really obstinate. And we got to start making changes personally, too. We can't keep buying from these multinational corporations and expect things to change. If we keep buying from Amazon, Walmart, Apple, they're never going to change. They're just going to keep doing what they do every single time. And they are totally and completely advocating for the destruction of the middle class and complete technocracy. I think you can see that just with Sam Altman and how he views OpenAI, how he's willing to do anything to make sure that company keeps trudging along and making returns for their stockholders. They're willing to open it up to erotica. That was something that they said that they weren't going to do. It has nothing to do anymore with the betterment of the American people or for society at large. It's for the dollar and for the power that it holds. And we've seen it. We've seen it with Jeffrey Epstein. We've seen it with all these individuals that supposedly are just isolated events, but in reality, they're not. They all work together and they all have synchronicity when it comes to how they represent the government and how they're able to somehow shuffle money across multiple lines and multiple banks and multiple countries without detection. And somehow we as Americans, if we ever call that out, that's wrong. And that, if we want the Pentagon to be audited and them responsible for anything that they can't account for, that's not right. It's just crazy. We've let this happen. We've let this go on way too long, and it just can't happen anymore. Anyway, peace.